My mother-in-law created a family WhatsApp group without adding me. I discovered it because my husband forgot to close his phone. They had been talking about me every day for 3 years. What I read in those messages explained every strange thing I had experienced in this marriage. My name is Gabriella, I'm 36 years old, and what I found 4 days ago on my husband's phone is something I'm still processing as I tell you about it. It has the cruel distinction of not being a single betrayal, but dozens of small betrayals accumulated over 3 years, which suddenly all fall into place and reveal the complete picture of something that had been happening right before your eyes without you being able to see it. There are things that, when you discover them, don't break you all at once. They break you slowly, as you read, as you go back in time and reinterpret each moment with the new information. That's how that WhatsApp group broke me, page by page, memory by memory. You need to know what my marriage is like to understand the magnitude of what I found. I've been married to Rodrigo for 5 years. We met when we were both 31, at a gathering of mutual friends. He was charming, attentive, the kind of person who looks at you when you speak as if what you're saying is the most interesting thing they've ever heard. We got married 2 years after meeting. We have a daughter, Isabella, who is 2.5 years old and the center of our world. Rodrigo's family never welcomed me warmly. I knew that from the beginning and accepted it because Rodrigo told me that his mother was like that with everyone, that she was a woman of few displays of affection, that she would open up with time. His mother, Consuelo, greeted me with the kind of cold politeness that is harder to deal with than outright hostility because it doesn't give you anything concrete to respond to. Always proper, always present, always with that smile that never reached her eyes. Her 2 sisters, Marcela and Patricia, followed Consuelo's example with the precision of someone who learned from a young age to follow the head of the family. Friendly on the surface, distant in everything that mattered. Never a genuine invitation, never a real conversation. I attributed it to personality differences, to the fact that some families are like that, to the fact that things eventually work themselves out. But there were things that didn't fit that explanation, and I kept them to myself, not quite knowing what to do with them. The time I arrived at a family gathering, and the group dispersed in a way that seemed too natural to be accidental, as if someone had given a signal I hadn't noticed. The time Consuelo asked me about my job with a level of detail that was unusual for someone who never showed interest, and days later Rodrigo told me that maybe I should consider reducing my hours because Isabella needed me more at home. The time Patricia whispered something in Rodrigo's ear at a Christmas dinner, and he changed mood for the rest of the night without explanation. The time I found a piece of paper in the trash with my name written on it, and underneath it a list of things I didn't manage to read completely before Rodrigo called me from the living room. Isolated things that individually mean nothing, but together form a pattern I saw but couldn't name. Until 4 days ago. Rodrigo went out to run a quick errand and left his phone on the dining room table. That wasn't unusual. What was unusual was that he left it unlocked and the screen on, something Rodrigo never did, because he was obsessive about his phone's privacy. We'd been married for 5 years, and I'd never had his password because, according to him, it was a matter of principle, that everyone needed their own space, that it didn't mean distrust. I saw the screen was on from where I was.
It was WhatsApp.
I went over to turn off the screen so I wouldn't snoop, and I saw the name of the open group. Vargas Family. Vargas Family was Rodrigo's last name. My name is Gabriela Mendoza. Rodrigo's name is Rodrigo Vargas. Isabella's name is Isabella Vargas Mendoza. I wasn't in any group called Vargas Family. I stared at the screen for a few seconds. Rodrigo had said he'd be back in 20 minutes. I picked up the phone.